G'day. I know, it's been a while. Again, it's been a very long time since I feel like I've done one live on my own channel, more or less on Blaster Scenes, but not my own, because funnily enough, my weekend's usually taken up by Blaster Scene. Either way, someone's wishing me a happy birthday, because that is coming up in a few moments. Because Ratson has already forgotten my name. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well in chat today. But yeah, I'm doing alright. I've decided to take a long weekend to myself. I just want to take a decent break from work, because god, that's stressful. But yes, outside of people forgetting I'm the only NZ person in NGS, I hope everyone's doing well. Hey Tessidus, hope you're doing well. There is a delay unfortunately today because, well, gotta make sure that no one is going to be stream sniping. So, we're going to have a Division C East game of Hard Stuck Supporter Group facing off against Macro Machines. Here we see Hard Stuck Support Group has banned out both Braxis Holdout, boo, and Dragonshire, boo. And on the other side of things, Macro Machines have banned out both the... No, it's not tomorrow. It is this weekend, however. Macro Machines have banned out the Cursed Hollow, as well as Garnetera. So, not like the big map, so don't really want to be out macroed. Funnily enough, the Macro Machines is not going to live up to their name. But, yeah, so that leads us to Battlefield of Eternity, where I'm stream sniping. Good luck, Tessidus. Good luck, mate. So yeah, we are just waiting on one person to still join the lobby, but I think everyone else is set. So yeah, I do really enjoy Division C. It was the division I played in the most when I was playing the NGS. I played two seasons of E. Wait, three seasons Division C. Yes, that sounds about right. So yeah, that was so it's kind of like my home division, where I can just kind of come back, go, I recognize these names, like I recognize, but I guess if I stream enough or cast enough, I'm going to recognize if I cast enough, I'm going to recognize more and more names, because god, I had the other day a horrifying experience of people were finally starting, I don't know why, but people have finally started recognizing me in game, and it was just seeing me like, oh god, end me now. It's the first time I've ever been recognized in game. Like, I don't like this. I have no clue who this person is. So yeah, that was a fun time. But on that, we are just still I really need to organize my camera to be on the screen. I need to get more and more used to camera, so I should really just get used to having it on here as well, because really I only do it on GGS, which I don't know why. It's the only one, there was more people in there every time than here, but apparently here I'm just like, camera weird. The easiest way to break it down, Tessidus, is Nexus Gaming Series NGS is NA, Heroes Lounge is EU. Which, you'll never probably catch me to casting Heroes Lounge, because that is actually on the opposite side of world for me. And as much as I love casting, I don't always appreciate waking up at 6 AM to cast a game. Or 5 AM in some cases. So yeah, I do not recommend waking up that early. For me in particular. I mean, I could probably do it then go to work. Oh no, that sounds horrible to me. Man, that does not feel like a good time. Not at all. But hopefully fifth is not too far away. This is on maybe 5 minutes. Nope, we have him now. Literally, I can curse people into existing, which is a very unfortunate curse. I'm going to say caster is ready, by the way. Yeah, so I'm just going to put in caster's ready in so we should be hopefully starting up soon. So everyone waiting, sorry about the delay. Sometimes I can't do anything about that. I can angrily shout at people, but that doesn't usually bode well. I don't really like shouting at people all that much. Not a fan of it. Yep, so hopefully, fingers crossed, everything starts shortly. And now, as soon as I start cast, curse people into existence is a very apt term. Being existence is a curse, and we're all just here. But looks like one team is ready. Hopefully, we can see the other team is ready soon enough without me throwing them under the bus. The line bus, if you will. But it looks like both teams are ready, so we should be starting up in a few moments. Which, hell, I'm looking forward to this. Count us in. We're not going to get counted in. I feel like it's just going to go. Might be as I'm not going to see a countdown. We're just going to go into the game like, oh shoot, there it is. Oh shoot, there it is. I was almost on top of it with that, but yeah, as you can hear, Battlefield of Eternity. Right. So I guess we shall see what happens here. On one side of things, it is going to be Hardstuck Support Group. On the other side, Macro Machines. Both these teams are teams I have actually played against. I played against Hardstuck Support Group when I was on the team Greg, and I played against, which is now Heavy Greg, and I played against Macro Machines under two banners, but the same team on 30 Seconds to Mosh. I saw my stream settings just So, we'll have to see how this goes. And I always feel like I need to turn up my music more in game. Test this if you're listening. Does music need to be louder, yes or no? I think I can do this. And we can see Anduin Vala banned out both first two slots, by the way. Anduin, just very good at cancelling out blow-up comp, so we may see some blow-up style composition from Hardstuck Support Group. On the other side of things, Vala is just good in BOE in general. You may as well get rid of it early, so you don't have to deal with it in the game. As much as you probably want to pick it up, if you're not first pick, ban it. I'd love to see a Jimmy. Love to see Jimmy Rayner. But instead we see a Chromie ban. Which, yeah, reasonable, also pretty good at Warriors. I'd say probably tested us at him, feels like there's no music. But yep, what will be the next ban? I didn't really look at the teams prior to this. I should. Okay. That should hopefully fix things. Right, so. Also, Joanna was banned out in the end, I can see. What is going to be our first pick? Safe pick. Blaze is a very safe pick. You got no qualms if you see a Blaze. In all honesty, if you see a Blaze joke, yeah, that's fine. Do you have a? I know Hoku plays Artanis. I just conveniently forgot him a moment. Alright, we're gonna see Artanis, and I'm gonna imagine it's amateur opponent because I don't see what else you would choose on this map. As well as you see Lunara, which I assume will end up being Nature's Culling as well, which at level 4 does increased race for the immortal damage. I should say it does increase siege in general, but it does affect the immortal. What next becomes the question. Omar goes Hanzo and Smack Loud and Uberak. Ban phase. Still need heal, still need another damage. Stukov ban? Stukov or Rhaegar is my guess. Again, this is without me knowing anything about the team. Right wing, okay, that's also fair. On the other side of things, again, other teams still needs a healer, needs a tank. Diablo is a good ban here. The two healers I said before. Li Ming if you're that scared of it. Really depends on what your biggest fear is coming into this one. Because we've already banned out a healer and a mage. We may see it just another one of those. Why do I feel like Ratson plays Diablo? I don't know, but I feel like he does. They get rid of Sonya. Why are they getting rid of Sonya? Because I thought Hoku was the Sonya player. I assume it's going to be Artanis in the off lane. So it's very interesting we see a Sonya ban. And that may be a misstep in terms of communication. Muradin, Lucio. I just remember Nyx. Yep, Nyx will go Lucio. I like Muradin here. The concept of Stormbolt, Sledgehammer at 4, and just to remember there has been updates on what's been banned from NGS in terms of talents. Muradin just needs to be careful about not taking block. We see Gazlo and Tyrande rounding things up. Very heavy front line. I don't know. There is a chance if a race doesn't quite go through to Hardstuck support group, but they are definitely a hassle to deal with. We can potentially see a Gravobomb Dragons come out. Dragon Strike, not Dragon Arrow. We see Tychus rounding things out, which pretty good late pick. Very good late pick into this. So yeah, it'd be very interesting to see where we go with these compositions. Nubarak can't quite be as safe diving as they want to be. And I imagine we may see minigun reset Tychus may be amazing here. But we could also very much just see the general grenade build. If Tychus is a bit scared of really stepping on up. But yep, that will be the timer ticking down. So let's go back over to the draft map view screen and we'll see how long we take from here. Which hopefully it doesn't take too long to load in. I'm observing, so hopefully I don't take too long to load in. It's always, when it's not me, is the funniest thing that takes the longest, just because I'm like, man, how do you have how does someone have a worse time than the guy who's sitting in New Zealand yarning on his microphone going, yeah, nah, she'll be right. We're gonna watch Samuro do a backflip into hitting the Immortal, which rips Samuro, current patch. My greatest sadness. Sound music seems good. Now, thank you. Excellent to hear. But yes, what shall we see? I know, like, looking at these team compositions, I kind of lean towards macro machines in terms of, is Muradin Bug working in this game? Talon is banned. Talon is banned. Yep, thank you, Decidus. I feel like I've described it and it's just about to catch up to where you guys are now, which is very funny to me. Okay, who is taking like 10 years to load it? It's Jimmy Bob Joe, I feel. It is Jimmy Bob Joe. Yeah, that is correct, Decidus. Right, let's see if people realize it. So, before I forget, let me swap in the game. Muradin got third wind right. They didn't accidentally choose it. So, on the side of the Hardstuck Support Group, we see Random Engineer is going to be on the Blaze. Down in bottom lane, we do see Syl, Tyrande, Smackcloud is on an Uberak, Omar G, Hanzo, and Heaven Dawn is on the Gaz. On the other side of things, we see Hoku on the Artanis. It's going to be Jimmy Bob Joe on the Lunara. Nyx, Lucio, Ratson on the Muradin, and Arcane 13 rounding things out with the Tychus. Alright. Someone is playing on Toaster. Yep, and I've read it out exactly who is on said Toaster. But yeah, we can see a relatively standard array of talents for this level 1. The biggest thing to note is going to be W on Hanzo, as they are going to be stacking early on. And while we can see there's a quest on Muradin, he's Muradin, he doesn't really care until it doesn't come until level 10. Kind of like Hook at level 13 on Stitches, or Double Vault on Maiev. That's who she is, yes. It's like, who's that character again? Also, this is cruel. Jimmy Bob Joe is stayed aside. Are they just planning on doing camp as soon as it comes out? That's probably something to keep an eye on. Bomb coming out. Ratson just having a good old slap on some minions. This Gazlon with 4 men is actually very interesting. I'd like to see how this one goes. Oh. Random air charges out. Nice slow by Jimmy Bob Joe. And as I look away, that is going to be a death on the Muradin. And, well, Blaze gets to live. I saw the swap win. Oh, okay. A lot of aggro onto the gate. Also, we do see that Arcane 13 is still grenade build. so not really leaning any further into it. We can see Jimmy Bob Joe has, however, come down. It's just there's been a little bit too much damage for this side of the Macro Machine to deal with so fast, so they do want to balance things out a little bit. And I was right, by the way, Artanis did go with those blades. Amateur opponent, that's what it's called. Now coming through, doesn't quite hit Ratson, but they do know pretty much where Ratson is going to be. And he gets a full scatter. He didn't eat a soda arrow though, so that's a nice change of pace. Smack Cloud, what are you doing down here? Oh, Nexus found Smack Cloud. That's probably the biggest question, Fluffy and Cute. Or Fluffy and Cute, sorry. Yeah, they've got to be up close. It can be adjusted for Jimmy Bob Joe with his talents he picks. But we'd have to see where that goes. But Hanzo full scatter. It is going to be Nature's Culling. That is what it was expected, just so we can have the extra race from her. But this may actually be very close in terms of race. I wouldn't exactly call Tychus the best for race potential. And I think we may need to see... Oh. Draken laser drill on this. Just because I don't think you can really afford to give up the minigun for Commandeer Odin. But considering Master Assassin's been picked, I don't know where they're going to go with that. And Muradin's still thinking about it, so... He didn't go for race in the end, he just went W. So I think it may actually be in favor of... Hard Stuck support group then. Smack Cloud, by the way, taking a lot of damage, but they're going to be fine. It's actually very close between the two. But I think Ratson kind of needed that extra sustain and the extra interrupt. Muradin getting aggressive, same for Nyx. Nice hammer by Ratson. Stun, hitting their own hero, but I've zoomed away in. But no, ooh, good push off. Nyx dodging the Anubrak. You can see that it's doing so well to slow things down, and they actually managed to do so. It is going to be Macro Machines with the first part of the race, as the Red Immortal will be pushing down bottom lane. Which has had a Bruiser camp in it the whole time. Which is not ideal, by any means. Right, Immortal Feds, let's see how this goes. Grenade just flying through, hitting 2. But yeah, this Immortal already doesn't have shield, so it's not going to be the longest living one. Ratson tried to jump out, did get hit by a... I can't even remember what the ability's called. They got hit by one of Kazlo's bombs. Spurring charge out from Smack Cloud, misses the Q, and now they're without an escape, they're going down. And that is a very unfortunate death, not one that you needed to even take. Now that really is the double-edged sword of a Nubrak dive. You can go in, you can get a good stun train, but if you don't get the kill on the person you're stunning, that can cause serious problems. And, well, we did see it caused a lot of problems for his health. Well, Team 7, so I will open this up before someone chat complains about me not having talents open. Nice jump to Ratson, heaving, I wouldn't say heaven down, but it's heaving down. Goes and gets a nice little W shot on them. Ratson halving? I think we're just going to see some safe play. I don't think either team will try attempt for... That's rude. That's so rude, just seeing the grenade fly in and hit Heathen Dawn. W doesn't find its mark from Omar. Keep in mind, they're just 2 stacks off completing their quest, so they're doing very well on it so far. God, just watching the grenades fly in. Ratson very aggressive in the back line. It hasn't shown their face yet. Oh, Hammer doesn't find it. It's Heather Dawn. It's an N! Also, welcome Torfy to the channel. Complaining. I always complain. I don't know what you're on about, Tessidus. Oh, right, about the talent, yeah. Oh, that's it. Is it real? Wait a minute. Wait a minute! That's an N! Bomb coming out. Ratson, very aggressive jump. Does hit the hammer, however. His Hanzo was a treat. Oh, okay. Alright, we do see the race coming out. It is a good start for Macro Machines getting into a decent lead. Ratson just zoning Smack Cloud, so we have to go the long way. can see that is a very comfortable lead for Macro Machines coming into this objective. Second half of this objective phase. Nope. Aggression coming up. Hoku doing a little bit of a blade dance just to dodge things. Oh, that's a stun train. Arcane 13th doesn't get to live. That's very unfortunate that they go down there. Nice boot by Nyx and is actually able to save Hoku with that. That one pick does help a lot. You've suddenly removed a very big threat from the side of... Let's see what I'm looking for. From the side of Macro Machines. And it really means your tanks can, well, be the tanks they want to be. The front line can be as frontliney as they want to be. Because, by the way, a mortal race is happening down here. But now we can see that it is going to be Hardstuck support group muscling their way back on, while Nyx is just being a hassle down bottom. And that is going to be an even healthier Immortal than the last phase. And I hear the slapping commence as Immortal is going to be going top. We do see Hoku rotate down bottom with Blaze. Random Engineer just making their way down even sooner. Alright, we're not here to watch the offlaners. I know. We're here to watch where the 4-man is, because I know the offlaners can be boring or something. I really enjoy offlane. And it is going to be Commandeer Odin, by the way, as a side note. And I will go through the rest of them after this. Just, there may be a big fight coming out in a few moments. Nice dodge of the Q, by the way. Good use of dash. Nah, I'm good now. Good. So we can also see Lucio went high 5, Suppression Pulsar Tennis, so it's weird pseudo-global. See Muradin goes in and get a nice double hammer after they pop Avatar. I think it's is Leaping Strike and yeah, Leaping Strike from the side of Macro Machines. The other side of things we do see it is going to be cooldown Bunker from Blaze, as well as Gravo Bomb from Gazlo, Cocoon and Ubrak, Starfall Tyrande, which could be very interesting, as well as rounding things out. It is going to be the Dragon Arrow Hanzo. So we are just going a full CC train, which is just as scary as anything else. What is happening down here? Oh, Artanis is left. Goodbye. And now we can see they're considering doing bottom. And they can use the R to see no one is there. Oh, Tychus. Even Dawn just gets hit with a grenade. And then Artanis picks up their own Bruiser Camp. Not the best in terms of timing, just because, well, you more often than not want to save it for objective phase. But it is also just better to get the experience sometimes and not, so that's what they opt for. Arcane 13th wants blood. It also is a very low kill game. It's only 2-1. So we are going to be taking our sweet time with this. And we can see slowly but surely they're backing off. They're not sure what's quite happening. Now the Bruiser Camp's a really good choice for Hardstuck support group, but I don't think they're wholly expecting to not get away with this completely. There's likely going to be an invade. Ratson probably has been found just then, and Nyx is thinking about it as well. But no, they're not going to invade. They're just going to play it safe. They're not going to make any bold plays onto objective with a Gazlo around, because that is a recipe for disaster. Oh, Hoku, that's not where you want to get stunned in. Line coming out. That is a big stun from Gazlo, which I imagine we're going to see Gravelomp. Yep. Artanis going down first. Dragon Arrow actually hitting Arcane 13th only, which they are looking very in trouble. So that is now a 2-0 in favor of Hardstuck Support Group. Macro Machines is being ran down. Oh, that's a catch on Ratson. I don't know if Ratson can get out. Nyx, however, doing their best to make sure they're safe. Nice Lucio boop coming through there, meaning Ratson is able to waddle away and live till the very next day. I realize so much. More and more throughout my casting, I realize how much I repeat what I've said in the past. Including phrases. I just have phrases I go back to and things I reference so much. It's a lot harder when I don't have a second person here casting with me, but hey, it is life. Can't have someone all the time. Ratson running defense. I do like the idea of using that there. You're trying to slow down, or suppression bosses, so you're trying to slow down the enemy team as much as possible. High 5 coming out, slowing things down. Oh, this is getting very close now. And it is barely in favor of Hard Stuck support group. Macro Machines absolutely burned through it, but wasn't able to get it down.
Victory through righteousness.
Oh, Burden Jump has been eaten. Oh, oh. He gets out. Hoku bottom by way, Artanis getting it soak. Random Engineer going, I should probably head down, shouldn't I? Yeah, I'll head down. But meanwhile, back top. Rat's in front of a gate, just doing what he can. Immortal Shield is gone. It's going to be going into Cuba Tigers by the looks of things. And that is going to be Commandeer Odin being dropped. Ratson taking a lot of damage. Jumps, takes damage more. That's going to be fun. Oh, Random Engineer showing up from underneath. Considers charging in, doesn't. I would actually like to see the aggressive charge. It's a tower at the end of the day. You have a lot of beef to take it. May as well try. That's a Cocoon. That's a charge. You don't really need anything else from it. Because you just need to kill that one. Nice high five, Lucio, but the Dragon Arrow coming in at the end. The Owl actually clutching things out, still finding the kill after all that. And now Ratson's going home. No, he isn't. Ooh. Oh, well, that was happening. Hoku did get a decent amount of value bottom. However, just wasn't able to get in as much as they would like. So it is 1-for-1. A core party felt my cat just jumped in front of my monitor. Well, next. I don't know. There's a great image somewhere of just like someone. I can't remember what it was. Someone just like going, oh, okay, game time, putting cat in its little room, closing the door, going, I do not need to be interrupted right now, cat, please. That's what you need to do. Just make sure you can't be bothered by your cat. And now we can see they're just running it down again. Burning Beetles is very good for helping with that. This Nubrak can push very well in general because it is Beetle still by what things he's in it. Ooh, nice triple stun. Forever Bomb hits only one, but meanwhile it is going to be Hoku in the midst of the battle. Nice stuns. A little bit unfocused from the side of Hardstuck Sport Group because we see double stun going out onto tank heal. We saw another stun coming out onto the damage. Fortunately, so not quite the follow-up there. Oh, Random Engineer goes with a charge, but Arcane 13th barely dashes out of the way. We can see June Bob Joe Hip Hop Tic Tac towing their way out of danger. And they know the Immortals up. They're just intent on racing because they know their race isn't quite as good as the race of Macro Machines. They have a far harder time burning down the Immortal. So we can see it is even 16s now, so it will be pretty close here, all considering. Ratson is just getting very aggressive. You have the numbers, you know not everyone's there. You can see the Immortals being poisoned down. Oh, Ratson needs to jump out. Random Engineer getting a charge onto Nix, but is going down a little bit. Oh, Smack Cloud taking a lot. Nice hammer. That's the thing. When Sil can't quite get all the way through, it does take a little bit harder. The cat distracts the enemy team. You say, yes, I did. But yeah, when Sil can't get a reset for her trait, and her Q in particular, it does become a lot harder for the side of Hardstuck Support Group to heal through things. As we can see now, they did have to forego a lot of the objective. It is now much closer than it should have been. It could have been, I should say. Oh, there's Jump Eden. That's a nice W. Hoku not getting stunned there, so they are going to be fine. I'm going to close this, just get him out of the way. Stun onto one, but it's going to be a high five. And that high five kept Hoku's unstoppable long enough without able to hit the Dragon Arrow as well. Nice charge as Gravo Bomb doesn't quite hit Nix. Nix actually came out of the cocoon just after, but they got enough though. Oh, Jim Bob Joe nearly actually died for turning around to dare to hit the enemy once. And actually, yeah, I think I'd rather leave Smack Cloud and Random Engineer to slowly siege things down. Because, well, Omar is your main racing capabilities. So you can't really just leave him be. Oh no, Jim Bob Joe, you have been found. Fortunately, the Nubrak missed the stun, because that could have been a little bit more dangerous. We can see that they are just going to continue. And Ratson is going to get stopped by the frontliners. And that is going to go over to the hard stuck support group.
Our glory
My mouse is getting caught on
radiates
something. I don't know
through
what my
this land.
mouse wire is doing, but here we are. But yeah, Immortal's going top just because there was that siege on bottom. Cats are very good at distracting enemies.
There
No,
is
didn't quite find anyone.
place where evil can hide from our gaze.
So where shall we go with this objective? Well, we know where we're going with this objective, but how will this objective go? I guess is a bigger question. Random engineer in full vision here, but we figured it out. Hoku going for the swap, doesn't quite find it. Radson going for a very aggressive jump. Big disconnect between tank and the rest of the team now. So it actually gives you a little bit of time to push further in if you're hard stuck support group. Which, the shield is now down to the Immortal, but the front gate is down and the Immortal is actually starting to hit building. Ratson in deep, chance, yep, there it is. Random engineer gets stuck. Gets caught in a little corner around the walls because for some reason Blaze cannot handle those. Jump coming out from Jimmy Bob Joe. We see Hoku now going to be in a little bit deeper. Any stuns? Yes, indeed. And that is going to be the Artanis going down. But Minigun Arcane 13 straight onto Smack Cloud. And we can see that it is going to be a Cocoon target. Ooh, barely caught Vitaly into that stun, but they're already so far out. It didn't really matter. Oh no. Sill's fine. Sill's fine. Nothing else happened. Ratson very aggressively jumping in. That grenade is going to find the kill onto the Anubrak, and now Sill is the one in trouble. And she refuses to go to his shit team. It's not, we can see her teams come up to her instead. Run, Tyrande. That Lucio is not a... Oh, no. Nyx, Bud, no. They took exception to that Lucio just running down their healer. Very well timed charge by Blaze. Right, oh, bullseye from Hanzo. And I accidentally clicked on the wrong button. Right, so we do see picked up at the Storm talent, which is now going to be a level advantage by the time the Immortal is actually up. Is Fortified Bunker. Good catch. Nice dodge by Arcane 13th. I can talk about talents after this, but Arcane 13th is going to go down. I think so. It was Miniature Black Hole on the Gazlo. Rewind to Nubarak. It is going to be the Shooting Star on Tyrande, and rounding things out is going to be pulled by Hanzo. Yeah, that's what it is. They're not even worried about Immortal. They are just going to kill the building, so to speak.
Blue team has destroyed the
Right. Right, so actually no, a new break's already on it. What am I on about? Blaze is gonna have to clear top. There is a couple of camps pushing up there. But we can see now with Tigers down, it's not gonna be the quickest of race for macro machines, but they do still at least have Lunara. So that can do pretty well, especially if Nature's culling Ratson going on the offensive to make sure that they can stall it out as much as possible, but there is roughly a 40% lead in favor of hard stuck support group. Oh, they're doing their camp. Never mind, they're blowing the lead immediately. In saying that, there's been a bit of a hesitation from macro machines, but they are down 20, so understandably so, they are going to be hesitant about stepping in. And we can see now hard stuck support group going on Hoku. That is going to be a high five coming up from Lucio. Ratson jumps over the top, hammers straight on top of that. However, is going to be Hoku caught out by a stun. And that is going to be the Artanis going down. Miniature Black Hole finding Ratson. However, the overlap between stuns, meaning that Muradin's not going to stay there for very long. Meanwhile, Lunara jumps over top both people and is able to find the kill onto Gazlo. Meanwhile, Camp with Catters just pushing. I love when the Catapult decides just to hit the wrong building. Like the middle tower, that doesn't matter at all. We can see there is going to be a back from Arcane 13th to help defend, but this is now going to be a third health Immortal pushing straight onto the core of hard stuck support of macro machines. What am I on about?
Red team's core is under attack.
So this is going to be a harder defense for the team. I realized I never actually updated my title. There we go. Let's actually update my title and get it right. So if you are macro machines here, you do need to meet the Immortal early. You cannot just give it room to push. And we can see that Hammer has been found onto OMRG. OMRG is going to be following up, and Dragon Arrow doesn't find its mark. That is perhaps a thing that may complicate things here, especially because Gazlo's only just respawned now. But and Immortal has now lost its shielding before the core has lost its shielding even. So I don't think you can end here if you are this other Hardstack support group, or at least it's going to be very difficult. You see Blaze needs to drop bunkers, everyone is getting very low. OMRG gets the stun onto Ratson. Ratson jumps out, but it is going to be Blaze going down first, but the core is going down even faster, just 10% left, and looks like it's calling to all in, and that is going to be the first map of the series going over to the side of Hardstack support group. GG called by both teams. So that was a good map by both teams. Same or less. Blaze doing an excellent amount of Siege, 167 compared to Tychus' 121,000 with... Sorry, yeah, Siege damage as opposed to Soak, which 23,000 on Blaze, which kind of encapsulates the biggest two on the other team being split between Artanis and Tychus. Roughly 12, well, at the higher end of 12k each. Hero damage... Hanzo 81,000, Tychus 91,000, but they did have a lot of big beefy boys to shoot with their minigun, so we can see how that went down. And last thing, Tyrande 97,000 healing compared to Lucio's 80,000, so excellent stuff from Sylvia. So I guess becomes the question, before I forget, I am going to update the score because, well, I'm really good at forgetting to update the score. I guess the question becomes, what map do we see next and what team do we see picking it? I imagine we see Macro Machines going first pick, but it's hard to say if that will be the case. I guess only time will tell as I throw it back to this screen here. Let's change it over to a screen where I'm not going to accidentally click play on a game. Because I have definitely almost done that before. What do we think? We can have a look at what the teams prefer. Let's have a look. If Macro Machines is going first, but let's have a look at what maps do Hardstack support group like to go to. I say knowing it's going to take me a little bit of time to open this up, so I'm definitely just stalling. So keeping in mind, we see Cursed Hollow and Garden of Terror banned out. Towers of Doom, potentially? Towers of Doom could be an interesting one. I do like seeing Towers of Doom. God, I hope it's not Infernal Shrines that we see. Alterac. They do pretty well in Alterac, actually. So we may see them go there. Hard to say. Because it definitely feels like Macro Machines have almost more banned out maps that they're not as comfortable with, but the side of Hardstack support group is. So the question becomes, what do we see? And that's assuming they even choose first pick. Sorry, I'm just muting myself whenever I drink, just so no one can hear that being picked up. So not everyone likes hearing the sound of that. Some people do, and that's not quite my thing, but some people do. I saw someone post a match like, oh, maybe that one. No, it's for a different division entirely. It's not even right teams. Not even right acronyms for teams. So, shrug. What would it be if Macro Machines picked, I wonder? Right, we have our map. And it's going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen. I have done it. I have infiltrated Macro Machines. It is I, the Macro Machine himself. And it was Macro Machines actually choosing the map. Okay. How do they fare on this map? 30% win rate, 4 games played, so they've played it a decent amount, and looking at it, it doesn't appear that Hard Stuck support group have played it at all this season. What does it? I can't recall. Why are you asking me hard questions? I think it says like, I think it says streaming or streams or something like that. I'm gonna say caster is ready. And hopefully get into things soon. Sometimes I hear the music. I'm like, I don't recognize this music. But I enjoy it. Okay. I don't recall this music at all. I don't usually play with the game music on. I usually play my own music on, but I don't want to get copyright struck. But anyway, we're going to get into Tomb of the Spider Queen. I've gone to the same screen twice, haven't I? Yep. Anduin banned out again. Really don't want to deal with Anduin. We may see different bans this time around. Is going to be the thing to note. You don't need to ban out Hanzo here. You can just... Not Hanzo, Vala. You can just let Vala through. Vala isn't as big a concern of this. Don't get me wrong, she's very good. But it's not a need ban. And they actually ban out Gazlo to start. Which Gazlo actually did pretty well last game. The extra stuns were just so much for the team of Macro Machines to keep an eye on that they really just kind of struggled for a bit of it. Chromie banned out again, so same bans for Hard Stuck support group. They know what the issue will be if they choose it, so that's why they're trying to cut down on the actual maximum range that Macro Machines has available to them, as someone said earlier in chat. As fluffy and cute said on chat. And Joanna banned out, so we got a much more frontline banned team. Still banning out Joanna, just don't want to deal with that. Joanna is known to be very good currently. So yeah, fair enough. All fair. Right, who will we see picked first? Gazlo. No. Vala? Vala. It is Vala. Well, let's see if they regret banning it out. Not banning it out this time. On the other side of things... I imagine we're going to see a Sonya if it's not picked in the first two, but we see Blaze actually. Blaze just a strong offlaner. Yes, I did pick up on it eventually. Fluffy and cute. Sorry, I was a little bit slow. Sometimes I can't. Unfortunately, because I got a concussion a while back. Hi, Moore. I hope you're doing well. I know you can't hear the stream, but god damn it. And Jaina actually. So we got leaning back in towards that close range style of play. So what comes next? Cho'Gall! I wish Cho'Gall with a passion. But no one will do it. Anubrak and Decade Kane. Oh great, I have to say Decade this game, and everyone knows how... I full well know how that sounds when I say it out loud. It's a very unfortunate thing when it comes to my accent. Nesbitt, oh my god, more. Nesbitt can work here. I would not say it's OP here by any mean. But we do see a Mei banned out in the last spot. On the other side of things, what do I imagine we'll see? Do they ban out Murat again? Maybe not. Again, Diablo is a problem here. Stukov is a problem here. They banned out Brightwing last time, if I recall correctly. But Nyx didn't see two front off. Oh yeah, Lucio. Velucio is actually good. Velucio is very good on Nyx. 2, 1. Ban. Stukov, there it is. It's oh, she can hear me now. Cool. Good to know. It's Nazebo is not OP. For all this map is full of spiders already. You do not need to add more to it. Diablo picked up, by the way, which I said would maybe be picked here. And we see Nyx picks up Rhaegar. So we're going to have a pretty divey composition between Diablo, Rhaegar, and Blaze. I'd love to see something such as a Greymane picked here. Not Nazebo, but Nazebo isn't necessarily off the table, just unlikely. Oh god, maybe Nazebo is alright here. No, I don't want that fort in my head. No, I can't get more shields. Chaos for Superior's good. Not Nazebo. Rounding things out is going to be a Zeratul. Can be good. I don't know if is the best though. Definitely will be an interesting one to keep an eye on. It'll be hard for them to get locked down by any means. Deckard Cain with stun stick at 16 maybe the play. So you can eventually just lock him down off the auto attack of Deckard Cain. Peldor, thank you for raid. Greatly appreciate it. Hopefully your cast went well, but spiders are scary. Adding more spiders will scare me to be. Yeah, it'd probably be far scarier if there were like any major venomous spiders here in New Zealand, but there's not. If I lived in Australia, very big difference. Here, however, no. Right, I should probably change back over that. Can I be bothered? Yeah, I should. It's literally going to be here for like 5-10 seconds and I'm going to change in game. I should really add predictions, shouldn't I? Yeah. What team will win? Hard Stuck Sport Group, or is it going to be Macro Machines? Submission 2 minutes. Yeah, sure, let's go. We'll actually do. I've actually remembered doing a prediction, so let's chucking it up, see if anyone's willing to bet points. If not, we'll see anyway. But game is going to take a little bit to go on through. We can see it coming up now, so let's get into the game, shall we? So, starting on the side of Macro Machines, we do see it is going to be Nyx, Rhaegar, Hoku, Blaze, Ratson are going to be on Diablo. Jimmy Bob Joe is on the Jaina. Ratifixa is going to be Arcane 13th on the Zeratul. So another very close range comp. But on the other side of things, we do see it's going to be Heaven Dawn, Kael'thas, Random Engineer is going to be on the Imperius, SmackCloud, Anubarak, Omar G is going to be on Vala. Ratifixa is still on Deckard Cain. Right, so let's see how this goes. Want to note a few things here. W build on the Rhaegar. Globes needed by Jaina. Globes needed by Kael'thas. And Vala is auto attack build. Already got a few auto attacks in very early on. I should leave it open just so it doesn't actively see what anything else is. Burn the Imperial Imperius. Okay, so we've got percent build Imperius. So Hoku and Ratson do have to be a little bit careful. I wouldn't mind seeing the Shish Kebab here. Wouldn't mind seeing that. We're not going to see anything for a little bit. Don't know why that happened. No one's seen anything in chat. But yeah, there's a pause. So this should be interesting to say the least. The Zeratul is going to be the major question mark always lies on those high mobility heroes who can do work, but is not necessarily the easiest to do well with. I can do this now. There we go. I blame you. Oh, god damn it. Right, it looks like teams are readying up. So we'll get back into it in a few moments, hopefully. One person asked if the dressed are ready. Waiting on Macro Machines to confirm if we're ready or not. So we should be getting counted in a few moments. A 5-second countdown, my word. Yeah, so we're back in the game. Oh my god, they even counted a 0. What a champion. Right. Now that is going to be Ratson taking a lot of damage. Oh my god, Ratson. Oh my god, Ratson! Nearly going down. Calamancy, hope you're doing well. Good to see you. This is going to be a harsh time for Random Engineer until they get their level 7. Level 7's when Imperius gets their wave clear in general, or they can just W that wave before it crashes, which we didn't quite see done, but that's okay, I suppose. gems, roughly even, just a little bit in lead for Macro Machines. So we'll have to see if they live up to their name. By the way, Vala 17 stacks, Kael'thas only 2. So Jaina a little bit ahead when it comes to stacking. Should you need everyone here? But at least, I guess they are already on the camp is probably the big thing to note. But they are going to be starting getting those camps out. You know what, Zero till maybe way down bottom, Arcane 13th, I think, just managed to sneak their way down. Everyone, none the wiser. U2, Lime, and Fusius. I love Lime. Oh, I didn't get Lime for my beer, actually. Now, thanks for reminding me. Hoku taking a decent chunk of damage. Wow, armor is nice. Imperius does have % damage for that level 1. Yeah, Arcane 13th has just not been sniffed out. We can see there's going to be a double camp coming up. Vengeance Bob Joe does need a half a mana, and Arcane 13th finds bottom. All while there has been a pretty decent push mid. Nice for you to not get your Kael'thas glue. But Ratson goes for a cheeky charge from behind. It doesn't able to get anyone into tower range. There's a nice roll by Val, making sure they don't take any extra damage. You know, Imperius is going to now be stuck here for 10 years. Roughly even in terms of gems again. So we are going to make our way closer and closer to the turn-in. Don't know who's going to die first. This is actually a big question mark of who may be the first one to die. Oh, poor random engineer. Oh, buddy, I feel it. I feel the pain. Oh, there we go. Camp is finally down. Oh, buddy. That sucks. Oh, I imagine Imperius is about to reset. You'd be dumb not to. Yeah. On the other side of things, Arcane 13th wants to turn in. Zero Tool is a ghost. Also, hi Bob, hope you're doing well. Picking up Bob gems. It is getting pretty close to both teams having turn in. Macro Machines are closer. Still, I don't think dies here. She just has a nice little potion she can run over. You can see everyone rotating. I think they don't know. Is Sillish? I don't know. Oh well. Vey. We'll go back to Vey. Revert to my message. Turn in is available now for Macro Machines by way. This is glowing red. It means it is available. Just too shy for Hardstuck Sport Group, so we're not exactly off by much. Oh. Nice stun on Smackler. Oh, but Jimmy Bob Joe is the one in trouble now. Hoku coming to peel. That's an excellent stun, but that is a Kael'thas with an excellently placed Flame Strike. And that is going to be Jaina going down. No gems lost, at least. But definitely not ideal. And who is carrying the rest? Hoku and Nyx, even between the two. Nyx, do not bite in. Nyx, do not bite in. I know how tempting it looks, but do not. I think Hoku gets it turned in before everyone else. Yep. That is going to be turned in favor of Macro Machines, so they have the first turn in of the game, dropping at 4-minute scaling mark. Full Blaze. Oh, yeah, Blaze chose it. Okay, I haven't opened talents, but we'll have a look. Soulstone getting relatively stacked. Vala yet to meet her first quest point, only at 33 out of the first 50. So every 50 she gets an extra % of damage for every stack of hatred, so up to eventually 60% extra or something like that. Diablo going charge Malevolence. That is interesting. But a big thing to note is Imperius picking up Holy Fervor. Holy Fervor does so much to help with Imperius' wave clear, because otherwise it's kind of non-existent. Oh my god, very passive line compared to Smacklar, but Smacklar does have escape. Not an easier escape than Omar. Omar just has a little roll. Smacklar goes underground, unstoppable, so he can reach it. Arcane 13th getting a good chunk of damage. And Smacklar is stuck, goes straight into the blizzard. Not where quite you want to go, but alright indeed. Nice double stun. And that's a pretty good defense, all in all, actually. I love it. Oh, random engineer moves just in time. Nice double spear. Oh no. Very well played by random engineer there. Omar is getting ran down by Arcane 13th. Arcane 13th out of blinks and does die. And that's going to be the first quest complete for the side of, first part of quest complete for the side of Hardstuck Sport Group. Vala just stacking it up. Meanwhile, Globes, even between Kael'thas and Jaina, very well played there. Very well paced between the two. Obviously, they're doing the due diligence, making sure they get this Globes. But unfortunately, with Jaina just respawn now, it's going to take them a little bit of time to get back to catch up again. This is already this whole front game being opened up. Good aggression from Hardstuck. Cocoon coming up. Very early Cocoon, by the way. But we do see what? Cocoon, Angelic Armaments, Rain of Vengeance, Phoenix, and rounding things out is going to be Stay a While and Listen. So good sleepy time with Deckard Cain. Smack Cloud goes a little bit too aggressive, and we're going to see an APOC combo. Yep. Nice roll by Vala, getting out of the way. And that is a good kill onto Zero Tool. Excellent sleep by Syl, but Syl is going to go down to the Blizzard. Unfortunately, did not move in time. But meanwhile, for Web Weavers, there are still 2 up. Mid still half health, and top still has about a quarter left at this point. That is a very good Web Weaver. This has been a very good Web Weaver phase for Hardstuck support group, I should say. It's still going, is the thing. It's only just dying out now. But they have turned it again. In fact, they have extra. And meanwhile, it's going to be Macro Machines a little bit behind on Gems 24 off at present. But that's going to change basically at the end of that sentence. Yep, there it is. Arcane 13th has been found. Will it be smacked loudly? It's hard to tell. I couldn't see Nexus. It's like, what? What's the dog? Heather Dawn. And now I have now said Heather. It's finally been planted in my brain. Heaven Dawn has now been found, and there's a kind of back down bottom. Oh. Kalphas just wants to turn into gems. They just not being allowed to, man. They finally get in, and that is the turn-in. So back-to-back turn-ins is a lot to deal with, but thankfully Macro Machines did push waves out a little bit, so they're in a better spot than they could have been. Than they were, I should say. Yeah, they're in a better spot than they were, but it's still not ideal. Blaze is killable, but you're also giving up some nice top siege if you do go down for him. Are you pushing it on your it says an N. I'm just dumb. And that doesn't have an R in it either. Dumb does not. Ratson very aggressive. Doesn't quite get the stun to smack though. Does get flip however. They are now in a very unfortunate spot. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Nice sleep. Hits 2. Ancestral unfortunately goes off. Well, unfortunately for Hardstuck support group goes off just before anything else can happen. We can see Ring of Frost happening. So that is that. Meanwhile, we can see Web Weavers really starting to push up. Random Engineer has now joined the fray. That's a 5v4 top. Spear fighting Jaina. Unfortunately, Jaina does not have Rice Block yet. Oh, she does. Yeah, no, she's still a good few thousand off. So she goes down, unfortunately. Okay, we're getting a bit aggressive now from the side of Hardstuck support group. Going under fort and tower. Here comes the APOC. They're leaving it so late. They can just pop it earlier, but I think Diablo didn't quite have it up and check properly, actually. No, he may not have quite had it up in time. Yep, we can see things being ran down. No, he did definitely have it up. No. Just very late on it. I wonder if the fact that they're being too patient in cancelling it, so they're not cancelling it early enough. But yes, nicely done. Hardstuck on that objective phase once again. Now, it is going to be Macro Machines closer to the next phase than Hardstuck support group. But Hardstuck support group has made headway for that last one. And we see it is waves are very pushed in. You're now up 4 you're now up, well, soon 4 buildings in terms of going to have 6. The other team has 2. So yeah, you have a lot of room to breathe if you are Hardstuck support group. Imperious, not known for clearing camps once again. I love just watching Imperious just slowly stab a minion down. He's like, yeah, I'll get there eventually. One day, certainly. Nearly. I swear it's dying. Got it, thank God. Alright. They're going to be on the hunt again. They nearly have 16, so they can afford to be a bit... I'd actually recommend they be a bit patient here. If you can get 16 advantage, you're in a very good spot. You just got to make sure that... Arcane 13th wants. Arcane 13th cannot have Random Engineer just out of range to really, if they did decide to step up, would have been an issue. 16's now available for Hardstock support crew. And as I thought it was going to be, it is going to be Heraldric Staff. So, Stun Stick. This is going to mean Zero Tool has to be a bit more careful with how they start positioning. Because if just one auto attack from Deckard comes out on top of Arcane 13, that is a stun train. Which... Stun chain, which we can see did happen. Spear did not find its mark. I have missed 38 messages in my group chat for my house. So that's a... Oh no. Oh, that happens. I'll catch up with that later. Just do a loud swallow gulp effect, if that's what it's called. Turn-in happening all while underneath. Boss has been happening up top. And I can't believe I've been able to get away with it and still have an experience advantage. Red Web Weavers are descending, sure. But you have a boss and a decent wave putting top. Swing a Zero Tool, it needs to be careful with positioning, yeah. Stun Stick absolutely makes it much harder. Blue Zero just got hit by Sid Train, yeah. Zero Tool was in trouble. But this Zero Tool has kind of been like trying to put on those big boy carry pants, and that sometimes isn't quite the play you want to do. You can see they did get punished for it that time. Web Weavers can clear it out pretty easily. This boss really soaking up a lot of time on the top lane. Did get a little bit of damage on the building itself, but not too much more. Okay, Smack Cloud, remember, it's not your objective, to be fair. It is the enemies. Respect what they do have, as it can still do some things. 16s are now online for the side of Macro Machines. Oh, stun, cleanse. Unfortunately, Ring of Frost didn't quite find its target, and we can see it is a good roll. Sleepy Time coming out from Syl. And that is going to be 1 kill, 2 kill, no! Good Ancestral, meaning that Ratson got healed up in time. Hoku dodging the stuns and is able to charge out. And just like that, what was a good spot now isn't Omar G getting a stun out. They have been abandoned by their team. And that is Vala, just too aggressive. A double spear coming out from Random Engineer can turn that around. Unfortunately, without Vala, I don't think they quite have the siege to end in general. They can get another Web Weaver phase, however. Ah, Beetles. Burning Beetles can do a lot. But yes, Hardstock support group does have turn, a big thing to note. Beetles do enough, Imperius does enough. Arcane 13th barely doesn't find Heathen Dawn. Oof, someone tells Zero you can cancel VP delete other ultis. Yeah, it's seeming to be a little bit of a misstep here today. Random Engineer gonna half. And now we can see Heather down. God damn it. Oh, I'm never gonna live this down, am I? But yes, we can see it is going to be... Vala wanted the hero play. And did Vala make the hero... Well, Vala attempted to make the hero play, just didn't quite have it. We can see that they're being... Macro Machines is very much on the hunt to make sure the turn-in doesn't happen. Smack Cloud and Random Engineer do both need to turn in. And we can see they do. This puts Blue Team in a very... this puts Macro Machines in a very interesting spot. They need to be very, very onto the defense. They can't just afford the push, which I'd imagine we see them clear up this wave in half, right? No, it's going to mountain. Yep, there's halving. A little bit late halving, but the Web Weavers haven't quite dropped yet. Waves are very pushed up, however. Smack Cloud starting the core up. One little beetle does a few little hits. Doesn't get too much more done with it, however. And this is going to be a rough spot now, so we can see everyone's rolling on in. Stun, no, Hoku dodges. And that is going to be Zero Tool and Cocoon. Stun coming out, hits only one. Smack Cloud is taking a lot of the core shots. And the core is actually taking damage. We can see the Web Weaver does get time stopped. It's dropped early. That's the combo we were waiting for. That is a lot of damage coming out. That's Kael'thas going down first. Syl is barely holding on. Does get Sleepy Time out, but it's going to be a double sleep. And that is going to be core slowly falling, because that is going to be Ratson going, Zero Tool going. Smack Cloud goes next, however. But that is still a Web Weaver and a 3v3. No, Soulstone, so it's a 4v3 in favor of Macro Machines, but can they defend this in time? They have cleared for Web Weaver. Random Engineer does go down. The core doesn't, however. Yes, it is going to be an end core, and it is going to be Syl taking it while Omar tries their best, and it is going to be the end of that. And that is going to be a 2-0 in favor of Hardstuck Sport Group. Barely at the end. Barely at the end. He did it. He did cancel it early indeed, but let's change over to the screen before I forget. And let's update this. And before I forget, I'm going to do a few other things. But yes, here are the stats for those who are interested to start. I'm not going to mention them immediately, just because I am making sure I do something else. Calendar. We're going to do another match after this, as I know. I better ping them before I forget. And I'm going to... I'll ping them in a few moments. But yes, we can see good hit. Siege across the board. Kalphus 102, Jaina 120, so pulling ahead of Blaze. But Blaze was still ahead of Kalphus. 46,000 hero damage from Omar G on Vivala. 28,000 Jaina, so Omar did definitely do work this game. Decad, 58,000 healing, 39,000, well, 40,000. Will be nice. 40,000 Rhaegar. Yeah, Vala did do work. And Soak, 13,000 Imperius, 14,000 Blaze. In terms of talents, anything that stands out in particular? Yeah, the Bonk Stick. I know it's not called the Bonk Stick, but I am going to call it the Bonk Stick. It is very nice to see the Stud Stick coming out from Decad, especially into high mobility heroes such as Zeratul, because it does now make this small zone of, oh, I probably can't go that close to everyone else. I'm going to charge build Diablo, otherwise is the other thing to know. I'm going to go into a lobby now, by the way, to see if I can get anyone to have a chat with me. I'll leave it up on this for now, but let's change over. So I'm going to have to leave this up, otherwise I will not see when people come in. So if anyone in chat has questions for players, that is great. So I need to do a few things. Hardstuck support group. Any interviewers? At Gambit at can't. Sorry about this, everyone. And we do have a friend joining us. Hello. I'm doing alright. How do you feel after that match?
We've kind of just gone in, but not researched too many teams, and it's kind of bitten us in the behinds a bit, so yeah. We had to change some stuff for sure.
Oh, sorry. Who are you in game? Sorry.
I was the KT.
Okay, so you're
Heathen Dawn.
It is Heathen Dawn. Good. Someone's like Heather Dawn. I'm like, no.
That's
to the point where I accidentally said Heather Dawn later. I'm like, damn it.
That's the meme. Everyone calls me that because they never see the end.
I actually had it right, and I'm just getting gaslit by people to have it wrong. God damn it. Oh, this always happens to me. Alright, give me a moment.
All good.
So that last map was certainly a far closer ending than you may have liked it to be at the end. What was kind of going through your heads as people started dying?
Yeah, basically we saw the Zeratul. We knew they played it. It was kind of like somewhat of, I don't want to say a pocket pick, but they do pull it out every once in a while. So we're like, okay, respecting it, try not to group too much, but he managed to get a couple good ones on us, actually. Like, I think he got like 2 or 3 3-mans on us. He got us pretty good at the end, but we were just so ahead, man. We just played front to back, and yeah, we had a lot of our players were on point, like, still landed some massive ultis. Everything was just pretty much online today. It was really good. It's clean.
Yeah, it was very clean, that second map. But first map was a little bit less clean. I know your captain said you guys had some interesting stuff coming out. I wasn't expecting a Gazlo and the 4-man. Is that something you guys are looking to do more and more, or is that something go, we'll see what happens?
So, Gaz has been my, like, little pocket pick for a while now. I don't even think I played, honestly. That was, like, all respect to the team. I think my team carried me super hard that first game. That was probably my worst Gaz performance out of all the games. Normally, it's like, it just forces teams in these divisions, I noticed to respond in a certain way, just because it is really awkward. So it gets banned away more than not. We just feel pretty strongly about easy engage, kind of easy to operate teams with a lot of CC. I mean, I feel like a lot of teams in this division are like that for the most part, right? You're not trying to work super hard. But yeah, the Gaz is kind of one of those picks. It's just annoying, right? So we figured we had enough burn, right, with the Terrans, and yeah, it worked out pretty well.
You say it worked out pretty well, but those burn phases weren't actually quite in your favor a fair chunk of the time.
Yeah.
Did they come out with it just a bit more than expected between the Lunara and, well, it's mainly the Lunara.
The Luna and the Art, we figured, okay, they're probably going to focus burn, and early game, I tried to put together just more so a team fighting team. So we knew we were probably going to fall behind a bit early on. As long as we scaled, we were pretty confident we could out team fight them, and I think it just kind of got to that point.
Yeah, I figured the comment that, yeah, your team was definitely geared towards the fight. And while I do think Tychus can be good, it's just, he has to fight so close to you guys that really the decision between hitting which one of the three of you can often lead to the downfall, and it felt like you guys did punish him pretty well for it.
Definitely, yeah.
Were you expecting Comedy Odin? Considering it gets rid of a minigun?
Yeah, we didn't really discuss that too much. It was kind of on the fly thing. We saw the Tychus. We knew their one player was a big Chromie player, so it was a debate whether I take the Chromie from that. And then we saw the Tychus come up. We know they play TAS and some other stuff. We're like, okay, we'll just deal with this. We just had last. Yeah, the Tychus was last, and we're just like, as long as we lay our CC pretty well, there are just so many threats coming from us that they had to respect. It was just, I think it was very hard. It was on them almost. Or rather, it was on us to make a mistake once it got to a certain point.
Yeah, I think by that 16 mark was definitely you guys who were in a very controlling position, but there were still a few moments you're like, oh god, we nearly made a mistake here. I think there's one or two times where I think SmackCloud dove in and then got caught out without his escape because he did dive.
Yeah, exactly.
How much does Sil play Tyrande? That was a very well played Tyrande game.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she plays it quite a bit. She's a very good Tyrande. Yeah.
I guess I've seen more of her casting than her playing, unfortunately.
Fair, yeah.
Oh, that's the problem when you live in different time zones and aren't quite able to make as many games as I wish I could. But yeah, I don't really have any further questions. So I guess, do you have anything you want to say about the series as a whole?
All respect to Macro Machines, we did our homework. We tried, at least, right? We discussed it a lot. That's something we really struggled with drafts. I feel like we beat ourselves up in draft a lot, but so we have been working on it. They forced us to really communicate. So props to them for that. They had some big threats that we had to respect. Other than that, yeah, just kind of happy. Stuff came together pretty well. And not only, the big thing I wanted to say, I guess last, we had a little bit of a role swap. Yeah, so NG's doing offlaner, and then Smack's on main tank, and we're trying it. We're trying it for this week. We had a little bit of practice with it, but the champions were basically, we were aware that Smack could play some of the stuff, so the transition wasn't too hard. We were a little bit like on the fence with it. We weren't too sure this week, but as long as we felt our draft was in order, I guess, and everything, our communication was good, we were pretty confident, yeah. But yeah,
nice.
Shout outs to my team. Everything was good. Shout outs to Macro Machines. It was a fun series. And yeah.
Yeah, well, excellent. In that case, I will not keep you too much longer. Go celebrate with your team and have a very good rest of your evening.
Thank you so much for casting. I'll be sure to check it out.
No worries. Take care.
All right. Have a good night. Take care.
What? No, I do not want to join another voice channel. Right. So that was a very fun series to watch. And while the first game was definitely closer than the second, they still did have moments where Macro Machines had a very good few times. Next on that Lucio was definitely a menace. to say the least. She got her team out of a lot of sticky situations, including a very stuck Tychus. Tychus nearly got out of it, which is something amazing, but out of a cocoon situation. But thank you for following. Torfy. We're gonna go with Torfy. So yeah, that was very good of them to get out of that. Just that first game in general, as they did surmise, yeah, there was a race advantage in favor of Macro Machines early on, and they did get decent value of it. Hoku was able to push as well during a lot of the enemy phases, where they were able to create the space that they desired, or that they needed. But yeah, that was a very good stuff. Yeah, map number 2 was a bit more difficult. They did get first turn at least, but Anubarak is a hero that is very good at creating artificial pressure. Thank you to Beatles. And just Vala only having 1 death and it was being near the end meant that they were able to stack a considerable amount prior to their actual demise. So very good stuff there. So the question becomes, what's happening now? Well, dear viewer, I am not going to be ending stream. I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break in a few moments, which I'll say once we get to 10-2. We can have a time and see if we can get things going. But yeah, so that's why I'm just kind of stalling for time a little bit, just because I know I need to take a break myself. If I'm a camera on, if it wasn't a 30-second delay, I'd be more inclined to just yarn. And you guys, I can absolutely tell live stories. If anyone has questions, I'm maybe not live stories, but anyone has questions like the time I got stabbed. Be more willing to like say sometimes, but hey, it's always hard to say when there is such a delay between myself and the chat as well. Just because you're like, man, I can keep talking, but I don't know how long for. If I had someone like Rock here, that'd be amazing. But Rock is streaming on her own channel. I can't just go, hey Rock, come over here and yarn with me for like 10 minutes about anything and like about random stuff. Limey, really? Look, I'm not rebranding at this point. Chriso, you're welcome. Just make sure you guys are on time. I'll very much appreciate it if you guys are on time. Mainly because I can't stall forever. I will need a drink as a thing. I will need a drink, we'll use bathroom, etc, etc. It won't take me 10 minutes. It's probably going to be a big thing to note. It probably won't even take me 5 in all honesty. But I can definitely stall out time. I need to mention, hey, do coin toss without me, please. We can always join them in a few moments and then come back and then just like yarn about the teams. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up for the moment. We're going to be back at roughly 8 PST or after the coin toss. So I'm going to go on a quick break. But again, well done Hard Stuck support group. And look forward to the next cast, which is indeed going to be Division C West. We're just going to be doing Gambit Gaining against Can't Counterpick Stupid and Seed. So see you guys on the other side of this break. When I remember where my buttons are for doing things. I don't remember where my buttons are for doing things. There's my buttons are for doing things. See you soon.